Hello everyone, my name is Abhi Bhardwaj and I'm back with lecture series on science. Today's topic is going to be on water. So we're going to understand, where the water came on this planet and we'll try to see and go back in history of our planet and see, what are the different possibilities of having, having water on a planet. And this is I just want to mention here that this is one of the biggest scientific mystery till date, as there is no one solid theory which which kind of you know can tell us 100% how the water appeared on this planet. But let's get started and see what we think about it. So when we go back, say for example, on the history of our planet, we see that around 4.6 billion years back, our entire solar system was formed out of solar nebula. And solar nebula was nothing but it's dust particles, and under the gravity, basically, first of all, the sun was formed where most of the material went, and then remaining disk led to formation of other planets, and Earth was one of them. So, and when you look at the early history of the Earth, it was very hot. It was as hot as sun, both inside out, and the early atmosphere looked very kind of not favorable at all for holding water. So as the Earth cooled down, the Earth formed the outer layer, which is called crust, and Earth crust basically is very thin still, but inside of the Earth it remained very hot, and till today it's very hot. But outer part started becoming colder and colder, and that was the time, after the formation of Earth, when it cooled down slightly, and the conditions were right that the water would not evaporate anymore. So that was the time when probably the water could have come on our planet. But looking at the conditions, it doesn't look like that water was water was formed on this planet. So it definitely looks like that water came uh, from some other source out of this planet. So what are the other sources? What are the theories which different theories tells us is that there could be the water could have been supplied by either asteroid or comets. And so most likely theory is that either a comet or asteroid full of ice and full of water just crashed into this planet, and this is how we got our water. And the most interesting part is that there's no one theory which we can 100% believe. But looking at the conditions, the prehistoric conditions of that time, it doesn't look like it could have formed on this planet. And what we see now is that either a comet or an asteroid probably brought it from external sources, and what it led to, now we see we have around 71% water on this planet. This is a lot of water, so it actually can be called as a water planet. And if that did not happen, then there wouldn't have any life on this planet. I wouldn't be sitting next to you talking about this resource. But what I think about formation of water, so universally, I think that when the universe was formed, for example, around 13.7 billion years back, or around 14 billion years back, early universe, there were no atoms. It was a soup of basically subatomic particles, and then it took 380,000 years to form first atom, and that was hydrogen atom along with some helium and very traces of lithium. But so it did not have any oxygen at the time, so it was only hydrogen. But later on, around, if you go forward around 1 billion years, then first star was formed and the galaxies started forming after that. So those were the first stars which were, they were right conditions which formed other elements of the periodic table, and oxygen is probably one of them. And so when they bursted into supernovas and distributed all the stardust throughout our universe, we had second ingredient of water, oxygen. So we have hydrogen now, and we had oxygen, and there's definitely a possibility of combining them, to form water. And probably what I think is that water should be universal. So that means there should be multiple planets all around the universe, including the dust clouds, which are probably the water clouds, and so the water should be universally available throughout our universe and throughout our galaxy. And so when we look at, for example, comets, definitely there are ice comets which brings a lot of water with them, which proves this, that water is water is available outside our planet. And so there definitely, and if there is water, that also leads to to believe that there must be life in other planets as well, because water is the main main thing we need for life to flourish on any planet. So so it definitely leads us to believe that there should be other planets where there's water, and there's definitely life on other planets as well. Well, coming back to our planet, I mean, water is definitely one of the rare commodity, I would say, the fresh water, and we should make every effort to keep it clean, not pollute. And we know that there's a big problem of fresh water, which is fresh clean water, which is available on our planet, and it's getting worse and worse every day. So we should, whenever we think about water, we should consider that this is a rare common commodity which was supplied to our planet from some external source, and because of which all the life form came, including us, were able to flourish on this planet. And this should be, this commodity should be saved at all costs. So that's what I want to discuss in today's lecture. Thanks for watching.